Hi, friends. Welcome to your mat today. I'm Val, and I will be your guide as we practice through a really slow and intentional class, guided to bring in some mobility into the shoulders and focus more on postural integrity. I recently came across a quote that says, "Rushing steals the magic, while stillness reveals the view." Rushing steals the magic, while stillness reveals the view. So good. I'm not sure who stated that quote. I came across it on one of my feeds as I was moving through social media, and it really made me ponder and stop and think. And I was just like, wow, we really do have so much magic robbed of us when we just go, go, go. And when we're like moving really fast through life and just waiting for the next day or waiting for the next moment or waiting for the next vacation and just, ebbing and flowing through our lives without a lot of awareness. But when we find this sense of stillness and we really give ourselves the space to slow down and notice and be aware and observe, we really get the opportunity to be given this view of beauty. And on the mat is where I give myself a lot of space to notice that. I love slow flows. I love yin yoga. I love fast classes too, don't get me wrong. But when we slow down, we have to do a little bit more work in the sense of integrating the breath into certain areas and trying to release tension from spaces that we're gripping or we're holding on to. And the art of surrender and the art of stillness really coincide beautifully, because in a lot of the stillness, we must surrender from the need and the want to be somewhere else rather than be here right now in this present moment. We really have to sit with what is, work through it sometimes, and allow all of that to unravel and unwind and really unlearn certain things that we're so accustomed to just because it's easy to move into them from the next or from the previous. Yeah. So today's class, we will be replacing the chaturangas, the traditional chaturangas that we flow through really quickly in a lot of classes. And we'll be replacing them with the IYWT drills. Try saying that fast. So these drills will bring a lot of awareness into shoulder mobility, building strength in the arms, creating this really beautiful postural integrity in the spine, especially the thoracic spine, the upper body. And we will allow this to be a really solid foundation for our future classes, where we will be practicing maybe a little bit more fluidly or quickly. We will have that integrity and that depth of what's going on in our bodies really built strongly from today's class. So you are really not going to need any props unless you like blocks or extra support of a blanket or something. The first half of class will be doing a lot of opening into the neck, the side body, and the shoulders, loosening things up, getting things moving. So prepare yourself if you like to be elevated. If you feel really tight in the hips, you can elevate yourself up on a block or a bolster or a blanket. That's really all you'll need for today's class, and yourself and an open mind and a space where you can be slow. All right, we're going to meet in a seated position. As you find yourself in this seated position, allow your hands to rest comfortably on your lap, letting your fingers relax, taking a moment to just wiggle out through the shoulders. Allow yourself to work towards sitting up nice and tall. If you need extra support and you have a wall behind you, you can always sit up against a wall for this first moment of class. But just allow yourself to feel length from your tailbone all the way up through the spine and then out the crown of the head. The chin will be parallel to the ground. The back of the head, feel it press back. We are such a text neck culture, meaning we look down and we text a lot. So we have this sense of a little bit of a hump in the back of the neck. So just work the back of the head to be in line with the spine. One long line of energy. Hands rest on your lap, and then just begin to invite the eyes to close down. And as the eyes begin to close down, we start to create this message to ourselves that we're giving ourselves into the internal space and starting to eliminate the external distractions. As we close down the eyes, shift your awareness to the breath without changing it or trying to control it just yet. Notice the breath flowing in and flowing out. You might begin to bring a sense of mindfulness to the depth of the breath. Without judging it, can you notice if the breath is diving deep down towards the pit of the belly, or is it staying a bit more shallow and to the surface level, perhaps landing more in the chest? Bringing a sense of mindfulness to the pace of the breath. Is it coming in and going out at a faster pace? Or does it take more length and more time to come in and out of the body? And noticing the texture of the breath in the sense of, does it feel a bit more choppy and rigid or bumpy? Or is it more velvety and smooth, like a buttery texture, silky coming in and going out? And throughout all of this awareness of the breath, and you just notice the breath as a whole, expanding the body on the inhalations and bringing this contraction on the exhalations. In that expansion and contraction, do you notice it more in one area? Or do you notice it more as a whole, 360-degree, encompassing the breath within the whole body, especially more so the torso, you'll bring more awareness to? Or is it just landing more in the shoulders or more in the chest? And none of these observations are right or wrong. They are just observations. Within the space of the observing and the noticing, the stillness to connect with the breath, what begins to be revealed to you? The view of yourself as you begin. So often we step on the mat and ignore the importance of dropping into the breath. But it truly is the breath that grounds us, that allows the magic to even be revealed. throughout the remainder of the class. Just taking these extra few moments to be with your breath. Now, if it was shorter or shallower or choppier, can you work towards lengthening it out? Naturally, when we bring our awareness to the breath, those things work their way out on their own or work their way in on their own. But if you haven't gotten quite there yet, then begin to put a little bit more emphasis on creating length in the breath, of breathing down towards the pit of the belly. You can even bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. And then feel the belly expand, the breath rise all the way up towards that top hand. And then as you exhale, feeling the chest soften, the shoulders relax, and then emptying out from the belly. The navel draws towards the spine to bring this slight connection of front and back body towards each other, helping immediately with your postural integrity. So if this is challenging, if you're starting to round, if you're starting to lose that awareness in the low belly, it's okay. You're not alone. We're here to work on that together. Keep thinking of that long line of energy from tail to crown. Keep thinking of pouring the breath down as far as it'll go and encompassing it with that expansion around your whole being. 3 more rounds of breath, whether your hands are on your lap or your belly and your heart. Smooth in and out through the nose, softening through anywhere that the body might be tensing, whether that's gripping in the fingers or the toes or scrunching in the face. Last inhale through the nose, fill all the way up. Open the mouth, sigh it out, let it go. We'll gently blink the eyes open. Keep the breath in and out through the nose. You'll unravel your legs to a lengthened position, so an elongated position out in front of you. You need to take a moment to bring some bend into the knees, maybe a point and a flex through the toes and the ankles. Just allow yourself to gather this sense of your seated position with the legs out long. Good. Now, options here, you can cross your legs in the other direction if that is comfortable for you. You can keep your legs out long, or you can even begin to find a little bit of a hip opener by bringing the soles of the feet to touch, coming to a Baddha Konasana position. Option to stay on the blocks or your blanket or whatever prop is underneath you, and let the hands come to your legs. On your next exhale, drop your chin towards your chest. We'll send 3 breaths into the back of the neck and the backs of the shoulders. Full breaths. Trying to keep your tongue relaxed, the jaw relaxed, the facial muscles nice and soft. And on your next inhale, carve a line with your nose all the way up towards the sky, keeping the jaw still relaxed, but lifting up through the jaw to open up through the front of the throat. Shoulders remain relaxed, so if you start to notice the shoulders creeping up towards the earlobes, take a moment, remind them to ground away, even if that means that the lift of the chin isn't as high as you thought it would go. 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, you'll return back through center. Gaze over your right shoulder. Notice in your peripheral vision if your right shoulder is again creeping up towards the ear. Try to relax it down. Even if you need to lift your right hand up for a moment, roll the shoulder up, back, and down. And then continue the gaze over the shoulder. 1 more inhale here, keeping your opposite shoulder grounded as well. And then as you exhale, journey through center. Inhale, gaze over your left shoulder. keeping the shoulders drawing back, the heart lifted up, the length in the spine. Again, shoulders are reaching away from the earlobes. Softness in the face. One more big breath here. And a gentle sigh out. Inhale, come through center. If you're in that Baddha Konasana position, find the opposite cross from the beginning cross that you had. And if you were in the other cross, then try your Baddha Konasana. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down 5 times, slow. As you inhale, the shoulders draw up towards the earlobes, and then as you exhale, you peel them back and down. So taking your time to notice if there's any little hinges of the doors of the shoulders that need some WD-40. In that case, it's the breath, it's the slowness, it's the awareness, the mindfulness. And then we're going to move in the other direction. So as you inhale, you'll peel the shoulders back. There's retraction of the shoulder blades. Inhale the shoulders up to the earlobes and then forward and down. So just taking them in the other direction, just to be aware, just to check in with how the shoulders are feeling today. The hands can move alongside the rotations here. So if they want to glide up and down the thighs, that's totally fine. Take one more round and then come back through center. You could stay in your seat. If you need to adjust at any point, just readjust to what's comfortable for you. As you inhale, reach your left arm up towards the sky. Big breath in. Notice the shoulder. If it lifts up, relax it down. Create a fist with your hand so your thumb is just the only thing that's sticking up and out. And then the thumb will reach back behind you. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Check in, make sure that your ribs are not flailing out and that they're not spreading open, but the ribs are knitting in. So there's still this long line of energy, a strong foundation through the spine. Your opposite hand can always come to the ribs to keep that connection. One more full breath in here. And then as you exhale, open the arm out a little wider. So this is going to be our eye. We're coming into a half eye, so just one side isolating. Open it a little wider into your Y, half Y. Thumb is still reaching back. The ribs are still knitting in, and the shoulder, the back of your shoulder blade, is drawing down the back body. So there's depression of your shoulder blade. We're here for another full breath in. Full breath out. Begin to bend into your left elbow. Thumb still pokes back behind you. Now we're getting this openness across the front of your left shoulder. Notice if the elbow wants to poke forward or back. Try to keep it pretty level. And then think of the whole arm reaching back if you have that spaciousness in there. 2 full breaths here. Notice also making sure that the left side of your body isn't twisting towards the left side, but the torso is remaining squared to the front of the room. One more breath. Good. Now begin to straighten out your elbow, keeping the thumb pointing back still. There's this sense of external rotation in your left shoulder. Reach your knuckles away from your body as much as comfortably feels good. And this is going to be our T. Take a full breath here. And a full breath out. Good. We'll release the fist. Bring your left hand to your lap. Inhale, reach your right arm up and over towards the left side. Full breath in, anchoring down your right hip, reaching up through the right fingers. And then come back through center. Inhale, your left arm reaches up towards the sky. As you exhale, hinge over towards the right side. Side body stretch here. Reach through the fingers, anchor through that left hip, soften the face. Shoulder is drawing down the back body. One more full breath here. And then as you exhale, come back through center. Good. We're going to switch sides. So if you want to find a different position of the legs, be my guest. As you inhale, your right arm is going to come up. You'll create the fist. Thumb stays out of the picture, out of the equation. Your opposite hand is relaxed. Notice maybe one side feels a little bit more accessible than the other. One side might feel a little bit more lit up versus dull. No judgment. Just be where you are. Observe this side. Reach up through the knuckles for your isolated eye on the right side. Take a full breath in. Relax through the shoulder. Torso stays square. On your next inhale, widen into your Y. Thumb stays pointing back. That'll help slightly externally rotate that right shoulder. Softness across the face. So if you feel like you're clenching, if you feel like you're starting to round or grip, do your best to surrender, right? We're in the stillness where the magic is revealed, where the view starts to get a little bit clearer, slowing it down just to notice the shoulder that we're working on. This side is the right side. Big breath in. As you exhale, bend into that elbow. Remember, we don't want to move forward or kick back or hike back, but we're just bending into the elbow, feeling the openness across the pecs and across the front of your chest, feeling the sense of lift through the upper body, rootedness through the lower body. Thumb is pointing back. And again, we're not rotating the torso towards the right side. We're keeping it nice and straight. One more round of breath here. And then begin to extend through the elbow. Thumb pokes back. Knuckles reach away from you. Shoulder is relaxed. Thinking of like your earlobe trying to gain height while the shoulder loses it. One more round of breath. You've got this. Good. We'll release your right hand to your lap. One more side bend on each side. Inhale, left arm floats up. Shoulder stays grounded and depressed. As you exhale, hinge over towards the right side. Maybe your right hand finds the ground, anchoring the hip down, finding as much length and lift without penalizing that shoulder, right? So we want to keep that shoulder relaxed, rooted. The gaze also might start to poke up towards that top elbow or upper arm. Big breath in here. And then as you exhale, we'll release that top hand down. Your right arm will float up and over towards the left. And not dumping in your left side. Staying a little bit more active. The breath will help you stay there with integrity. Open the gaze maybe towards the top arm. Long breath. And on your next exhale, we'll come down. Both hands come to the lap. If the legs are not extended long, allow the legs to extend long. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down 3 times in each direction. Notice if the tendency is to move fast, slow it down. Good. We'll find our way back through center. Help the knees bend so you can find the feet on the ground. And if you are on blocks, we're just going to lean to one side to take them off, or take them out from underneath you, rather. And then from here, with your legs extended out long, inhale, float both arms high. As you exhale, bend into the elbows, peel and drip the fingers back behind you. Fingertips find the ground. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Engage the navel towards the spine. Start to activate through the legs, spread through the toes, reach the heels away from the glutes. Lift and lengthen through the back of the neck. We're here for a full breath in. And then as you exhale, let your fingers find your way to your thighs, knees, shins, and start to round the spine. We're coming into these subtle cat-cows. Let the fingers reach towards the feet or as far as they'll go. Soften the chin in towards the chest. Breathe into the back of the body. On the inhale, slowly rise the spine. Poke your fingers behind you. Fingertips find the ground. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Feel like your heart is pressing forward while lifting up. As you exhale, reach the fingers towards the legs. Soften the chin towards the chest. Round the spine for your cat variation. One more time, inhale, peel the fingers towards the legs, towards the hips, and then back behind you. Press down. Inhale, lift up, lengthen, open up through the front body. And then as you exhale, opening up into the back body. We'll make our way back through center, and then from here, we're going to gravitate to a tabletop position. Finding your knees under your hips, your wrists under your shoulders. Your fingers will point forward. The spine nice and long, elongated. We'll move through 3 rounds of our vinyasa. So the vinyasa where we're replacing chaturanga with the IYWT drills. First round, we're going to move a lot slower. The second round, we'll kind of pick the pace up a tiny bit. We're still going to move slow. And then the third, the same thing. We'll move a little bit faster than the previous round, but all in all, we're going to be moving really slow. Lots of integrity, lots of mindfulness. Connect to your breath. From your tabletop position, all I want you to do is reach your right hand under your right shoulder. So lift your right hand, keep your fingers spread, keep the palm facing the ground. Elbow, plug it in towards your right rib. So like pin it in, and then exhale, right hand down. Inhale, left hand lifts, elbow, pin it in. Keep the crown reaching forward, the tail reaching back. Spread through your left fingers. As you exhale, lower the left hand down. One more time, right hand lifts. Pin the elbow in. Right hand lowers. Inhale, the left hand lifts. Pin the elbow in. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes. Send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now in this downward facing dog, first few moments, just pedal out the legs. Find about 2 fist lengths between your big toes. Really let your gaze drop between your 2 big toes. Right, so the back of the neck has the sense of freedom. Release through tension in the back of the neck. Maybe a little nod and shake of the head, yes and no. And then as we start to find this sense of stillness within our downward facing dog, really invite the hands to press into the ground. As you press your hands into the ground, you're going to really lift and lengthen up through the hips. The arms will be extra strong here. You're preventing yourself from dumping in the shoulders through the strength of the arms. Feeling the upper outer arms hug in to initiate the sense of broadening across the upper back body. We're going to be here for one more full breath in and full breath out. On your inhale, look forward. As you exhale, journey forward. Top of the mat, we meet in a forward fold. Grab opposite elbows, let the head hang heavy. On your inhale, hands come to your shins or thighs, halfway lift, crown extends forward. As you exhale, fold. Inhale, root down, rise up, arms reach way up high, palms touch at the top. Exhale, hands come to your heart space. Take a full breath in, the full breath out. Another big breath in, and a big breath out. On your next inhale, float the arms high. As you exhale, soft bend in the knees, lead with the heart, forward fold takes you down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step your right foot all the way back, lower your right knee down. Allow your left knee to meet it. Walk the knees back till you come to your belly. As you come down to your belly, right away, just find a brief crocodile pose, stacking the palms on top of each other, the forehead to the top palm. So as we move through these chaturanga replacements, the I's, Y's, W's, and T's, we want to make sure that the lower half of your body is not clenched. It's slightly active, so the tops of the feet will be gently pressing into the mat, just enough to stabilize the pelvis. So the tailbone is nice and long, and the pubic bone is rooted down. For this first round, we're going to break it down from side to side. So keep your left hand where it's at, so the top of the palm can support the forehead if you need, or you can keep the gaze slightly lifted out in front of you. Your right arm will reach out in front, make a fist, right thumb towards the sky. Here, draw your right shoulder down your back body. And on an inhale, you'll lift the chest slightly, lift the pinky edge of your hand slightly. We're in our I. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Another big breath in. Keep drawing your right shoulder blade down the back body. Big breath out. Moving to the Y, the right arm will reach out towards the side. I like to think of it with being in line with the right corner edge of your mat. Now pull and plug the right shoulder blade in. Keep pressing softly into the tops of the feet. If you need to lower your head, if it's a lot for you, lower your head. Otherwise, keep the head slightly lifted, the chest softly lifted. Keep reaching through the knuckles, but peeling the shoulder blade down the back body. One more full breath in. And a full breath out. Now into your W, bend the right elbow. Thumb reaches up towards the sky. Feel like the right front of your shoulder is preventing from dropping down. So you don't want to spill down. If you need to drop your head, that's fine, but keep your right arm lifted. Same thing here. You don't want your elbow poking up or tucking under. Keep it nice and in line with the whole arm. We're here for one more full breath in and one more full breath out. Now, extend through your right elbow, reach your knuckles away from the body, thumb points up towards the sky, helping with the external rotation of that right arm, right shoulder. We're here for a full breath in and a full breath out. Good. Right hand comes down under the forehead. Take a brief crocodile pose. Relax through the legs. Maybe you want to wiggle out the hip side to side. Just notice how your body feels, where there is a sense of activation, and how we have a whole nother side to isolate into. So we'll keep the right hand where it's at. The left arm will reach out in front of you, make a fist with your hand, thumb stays up, right? From here, notice if you're really, really, really reaching, and then peel that shoulder down the back body, almost like your shoulder blade is tucking into a back pocket. You can keep your forehead down on the top of your right hand or keep it lifted. Start to slightly press into the tops of the feet, feeling the engagement, the rooting down of the lower half of the body, but without clenching. So if you feel a lot of tightness, relax, but stay softly engaged. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. On your next inhale, lift the left hand, lift the left fist. Notice if the shoulder starts to peel away and out of the back pocket, keep it tucked in. Gaze is down. We're here for a full breath in and a full breath out. Open it into the Y. Slow, steady movement. Keep it pinned in. Thumb up towards the sky. Breath is with you. Has it gotten choppy? Has it gotten rigid? Can you adjust it? Use the grounding mindfulness that we tapped into in the beginning of class. One more breath in. One more breath out. Bend the elbow, reach the elbow back, keep the arm nice and level, thumb to the sky. So don't tuck the elbow down or lift the elbow up. Keep the elbow in line with the shoulder as best as you can. We're here for another big breath in. Big breath out. Extending through the elbow, reaching the knuckles away from the shoulder, but still keeping that shoulder pinned in. Thumb up towards the sky. It's trying to reach towards the back of the room to help with the external rotation. There's retraction in the shoulder blade. The shoulder is trying to hug towards the spine. We're here for a big breath in and a big breath out. Slowly release that hand. Come to your crocodile pose. Relax through the glutes. Notice the work. Notice what happens when we don't rush through the sequence, through the pose, through the practice. I feel like there's this misconception of slow flow classes because they're slow, so you don't think that a lot happens and there's not so much strength building, and who needs slow flow classes? But the slow classes, I think, in my opinion, make you work a little bit harder, right? Because you are slowing things down. You have to be more mindful. You have to stay connected to the breath if you want to reap the ease and the benefits from the poses and the sequences. All right, take a full breath in through the nose, fill all the way up, and a full breath out. Walk your hands under your shoulders, press yourself up and back to a child's pose. Hips towards the heels. And then round through a tabletop position, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Notice any difference here. Do the arms feel a little stronger? Do they have a little bit more spaciousness within them? It's okay to have a bend in the knees and the heels are lifted. We're paying a little bit more attention to the upper half of the body, so think of broadening across the upper back body. We're here for a big breath in and a big breath out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, journey forward. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down, rise up. Palms touch. Exhale, hands come to the heart space. Feel this activation of the palms trying to press into each other or even press through each other. Notice the lift in the chest, the length through the tail, the lift through the crown, and the groundedness through the feet. One more big breath in, press the palms into each other. Feel the elbows widen away from one another. And then as you exhale, release. Inhale, float the arms high. Exhale, lead with the heart forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. The left foot steps all the way back. The left knee comes down. The right knee meets it. Walk the knees back, finding your way to your belly. Crocodile pose for a moment. So this time we'll move into both sides, working together simultaneously. It might be a little bit more challenging, so we're going to move slow, and then the next round we will move a little bit faster. So start by reaching both arms out in front of you, thumbs up, fingers curled in. Again, your forehead can be down. It's not a problem to have your forehead down if you need that extra support. Slightly press into the tops of the feet. Feel this soft engagement without clenching. And on your next inhale, lift both arms. Feel both shoulders hug into those back pockets. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. See if you can lift the thumbs a tiny bit higher for this last round of breath here in the eye. And then transition to Y. Reach the arms out at the corner edges, thumbs up. Crown is extending forward. Big breath in. Shoulder blades are hugging towards the spine. Big breath out. Last breath here. In your Y. What is your Y? Why are you doing this? Connect to that. Big inhale. As you exhale, bend into the elbows, come into your W. Maybe the heart lifts a little bit more here. Feel like those elbows are pinning towards the ribs. Thumbs stay up towards the sky. The earlobes are reaching away from the tops of the shoulders. We're here for another big breath in. And a big breath out. Straighten through the elbows. Reach the thumbs towards the sky into your T. Take a full breath in. Retracting the shoulder blades towards the spine, opening across the heart. Another big breath in. And a big breath out. Bend the elbows, lower the head, crocodile pose. Relax through the glutes. Maybe give the hips a little sway side to side. Big breaths. Settling you back into your nervous system, that sense of safety and support within your body, thanks to the breath. We'll find our way to our child's pose. So hands under the shoulders and the hips up and back. And we'll pause a moment in this child's pose, pressing into the palms as the hips reach back towards the heels, noticing the upper back body. Let the chest get a little heavier. And on your next inhale, round the spine, tuck the toes and the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Check in. Explore. Maybe a little bit more of intuitive movement into the corners of the body. And on your next inhale, slow it down. Look forward. Journey forward. Top of the mat, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down, rise up, arms reach way up high, strong legs. Hands at heart, press firm into the palms. Lift up a little bit more through the chest. Keep the length through the back of the neck. Big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, float the arms high. Last round. Exhale, lead with the heart, forward fold. Hinge from the hips. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back. Doesn't matter which foot steps back first. Lower down to the knees. Find your way all the way to your belly prone position. Rather than going right into your crocodile pose, we're going to go right into the I's, Y's, W's, and T's. Press through the tops of the feet. Soft engagement through the lower half of the body. Inhale, lift the fists. Reach out in front of you. Find your I. Big draw of the shoulders down the back body. Big breath. Moving into your Y. Open them out. Reach the thumbs to the sky still. Stay connected with your breath. Feel like your ears are reaching away from your shoulders. Move into your W. Bend into your elbows. Draw them in. Keep the lift in the heart. The spread of the chest. And then into your T's. Reach through the elbows. Draw the knuckles away from each other. Peel the shoulder blades in. We're here for one more breath. And then as you exhale, release the hands down. Move right into your child's pose. As we come into this child's pose, we're going to be here for 10 breaths. So really give the space for the head and the chest to get heavy, melt towards the ground. Start with a little bit more activation through the hands and through the arms, so more of an active child's pose. Noticing the space beneath your underarms hugging down. So the space between the shoulder blades can find a little bit more breath. And then from here, we'll turn this active child's pose into a passive child's pose. Let the elbows find the ground, the fingers kind of tent in towards each other. And release through the shoulders. And from this passive child's pose into embryo pose, reaching the fingers towards the heels, the backs of the hands connect to the ground as the palms reach up towards the sky. Notice if you're resisting the surrender of the shoulders, and then let the shoulders release. Slowing the breath back down to a pace that's elongated and smooth and deep, that encompasses the whole body. And sometimes there's these tendencies, these urges to re-engage through the shoulders. But we'll invite them when you notice that to relax, to surrender, to let go. We'll begin to bring our hands back underneath the shoulders. And we'll lift the body up. And then find your way to a seated position. As you come to your seated position, if you like that support underneath, grab it, support yourself accordingly. And as you come up, inhale, float the arms high. And we're taking a twist over towards the left side. So your right hand will find the outer knee, your left fingertips will plant behind you. Inhale, lift up, lengthen, create space. As you exhale, maybe the gaze peeks over your left shoulder. And keep your right hand where it's at. On an inhale, lift the left arm all the way up and arc it over towards the right side. Gaze can flip down towards the ground or up towards the sky, your choice, maybe somewhere in between. And then land your top hand, so land your left hand on the outer edge of your right knee. Inhale, your opposite arm, so now your right arm reaches back behind. Fingers find the ground. Inhale, lift up, lengthen. Exhale, find your twist. Keep your left hand where it's at. Inhale, reach your right arm up and over towards the left side, finding this side bend. Gaze can follow if it likes, down towards the ground, up towards the sky. And then we'll slowly do that one more time, add on. So take your right hand, bring it towards the outer edge of your left knee. Your left arm reaches back behind, lands down. One more twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, gaze over that back shoulder. Now this time, lift both hands from the thigh and the ground. Take your back arm, so your left arm reaches up and over, cross at the elbows, and find an eagle arm variation. So you can just stay holding your hands towards the backs of the shoulders, or backs of the hands greet towards each other, or your fingers find your palm. Lift up through the elbows, and then draw away with the forearms. Full breath in. On the exhale, release the arms out wide. Land them down behind you. Plant into the fingers, lift up through the chest. Good. Keep your right fingers planted. Inhale, the left arm reaches up and over for your twist. Lengthen up. Gaze over your back shoulder. And then slowly gravitate the hands away from the ground and the leg. Take that back arm, reach it up and over, cross at the elbows. Find your eagle arms. And then slowly release, open your arms out wide. Last time, land the fingers behind you. Open across the front of the body, lengthen up through the back of the neck. And maybe this time the gaze follows upwards. So lifting through the chin, stretching through the throat. Staying relaxed through the jaw. One more round of breath here. And returning your way back through center. We'll let the hands rest on the lap. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. And then in the other direction, back up and forward. And then come back to a sense of stillness. Just as we did when we began class, maybe let the eyes start to soften down, eliminating the distractions from the external and recentering them back to the internal. Start to check in with your breath. How has it journeyed with you through class today, from when it began to in the midst of the class, and then to now as we're slowing it out, cooling it down, and closing it? What feels more activated? Where can you soften? What can you observe? Remember that rushing steals the magic, and stillness and slowness reveal the view. So from slowing down in class today, what magic has been discovered within you? What does the view of your inner landscape look like? You can stay here as long as you'd like. Maybe take this into an extended shavasana by lying down on the ground. You can add in any of your favorite poses, but this will be the end of today's class. Thank you so much for practicing on your mat today. you have any questions, comments, feedback, I'd love to hear that in the comments below. Otherwise, stay tuned, keep checking in, turn on your notifications. I've got many more videos coming out very soon for you. So I will see you on the mat, and thank you for practicing. Namaste.